So what do I do? Because I planted it based on the roots. I didn't know how to make it straight because the roots would have stuck out.
可以剪佢入去，剪佢入嚟呢度咯，唔怕。
Like trim off the root?
如果有一條根高啲嘅，你可以上面條唔要。
Yeah, if there's multiple roots and like maybe one is in the way where you,
Yeah, or you
where you
cut
feel
it.
like, oh, I have to plant it a certain way, you can
Yeah.
actually cut it.
Can I change it today or not? No.
而家唔好剪佢，而
Bad
家
time
唔好
to
嚟
do.
嘅啫。
Right now, just let it grow.
我攞棵俾你睇啊！嗱，我哋啲樹咧一定要咁樣嘅。
He's gonna go grab another tree as an example.
Okay.
我哋啲樹一定要剪到佢咧嗰個 balance 先得㗎。
Oh,
要 cut 到佢嗰個嗰啲根咧，嗰啲根要 cut 到佢咁短㗎，即係上面嗰啲冇用嗰啲一定要 cut 到佢。
So the ones on the
Yeah.
top, you know, that's not
You cut the
useful,
short.
you can shorten it or, you know, cut it
你睇
down.
棵樹大細，
But it depends on how big the tree is.
大樹係長啲，small tree 係煙啲唔得。
So on a bigger tree, you have to leave that a little bit longer, leave the root. Where
Yeah.
you're cutting a little bit longer. On shorter trees, you can go
佢再
shorter.
出嗰啲 small 嗰啲，
why?
佢出嗰啲細根。
Well, because if you cut too much on a root like that's on a big tree, if you cut too much of the root, you're not going to be able to have enough of that root growth.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to leave it long, so then it can the root can regenerate.
Oh, gotcha.
Right? But if you cut it, you know, you might actually kill the tree.
Got
主
it.
要你棵樹幾大，第日你放落去盤度會唔會影響？即係放唔放得落啊？
So cutting the root also determines, you know, the size of your pot that you're going to try to put it in
Yeah.
later.
This
So
is
if you
too
have,
落得揾個拍，即係嗰啲瓦盤啊。
yeah, you're going to put it in a ceramic pot at some point.
Oh, but
So-
right
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Right now it's
落
fine,
落。
Oh, okay.
but
你要種
you
咧，
have
要
to-
諗住要嗰個盤要放唔放得落。
So when you're planting it, you have to think about if it's going to fit into the pot that you're going to eventually put it in, right? So and the
Oh.
sizing of it. Because if you have too much root, you're not going to be able to fit it into a pot a certain
Form model.
size. And then you're going to have to fix it, you know, because you're trying to
仲要
jam it in.
要睇呢個根係要呢個 straight 呢個 part 係窄啲嘅咧。你知唔知啊？呢度窄啲㗎嘛個 part，呢個
Yeah.
long part。
And then so it also depends on the shape of your pot too that you're putting it in. So if you're putting it into a rectangle pot and you have roots growing out the width way where
呢
it's
度咪
too
落唔到
long,
咯，
It
then
will
it
too long.
impacts
Oh,
how you're planting it into the pot.
要
So
要 same 即係 small。
Everything kind of starts from the beginning, right? You have to plan it for how it's going to go in its new home. For example, like a tree like that, right? You have to, it's a rectangle pot. So you have to look at how your roots going to lay out in that pot. You're going to have room
You
on
might go put
the
forward.
long side for your roots, but you're not going to have room in the shorter side of that pot. So when you're trying to figure out what you're doing with your plant, you have to plan that out too for the roots.
你變都放唔到落個盤度。
okay.
嗱咧，我哋嘅啲根咧要 balance，放喺度要平㗎嘛。
And when you cut the roots, it has to balance and be able to sit on its own. So you
Yeah.
can't have one that's bigger than the other where it's lopsided. Like
Yeah.
so, even like with this one, it's sitting on its own. It's balanced.
如果你唔係咧太高咧，你放落盤都放唔到。
And if it's too high, it's not going to fit in the pot, right? If you cut it too short, then it depends on the size of the
Yeah. 所以你
plant
睇我哋啲盤全部都可以放得落。Yeah.
So that's all part of, you know, how he plants them too. He plans for how the root's gonna go into
To
the
the
pot.
pot. And make sure it's balanced.
Right.
Yeah. 所以佢哋都唔即係冇學過呢啲好難嘅。
So it's
Hard to learn.
it's hard to learn. Like it's kind of part of the basics. It's almost kind of like common
Yeah.
sense, but because no one starts from that beginning, like everyone just starts off with a tree, and you're just
Like looking at the top.
right? Everyone just looks at the pretty part,
Yeah.
not really the whole tree.
And what's underneath.
Right.
我哋學種係要由初改根啊，嗰個樹倉點樣擺，你先決定點樣做。
So the way he learned it too, you know, starts
Yeah,
off
that's
with
okay.
the trunk and the roots, right? Learning how to cut the roots to balance it, and then also learning how to angle the tree, the trunk,
Mhm.
you know, to get the most out of it, right? To be able to kind of get the best
View.
view, best face.